also high school football on News Channel 12.
It's All Hallows Eve, and some conference championship hopes are destined for the grave. We find out which teams those are on this Week 11 edition of The Blitz. It's a tangled web we weave as Jacksonville and West Craven played a frighteningly good game. East Duplin has come out of the fog to lead the East Central Conference, but Croatan put a scare into the Panthers. And a spooktacular game between New Bern and D.H. Conley. One team was tricked while the other was treated. So keep your eye on the pumpkin, or you will be the walking dead.
The Blitz starts now. Boom!
Oh, it is that time of year again. Welcome to another award-winning edition of the Blitz. I'm Brian North.
And I'm Matt Trent. Welcome into the Lee Moore locker room on All Hallows Eve, where we have some frighteningly good highlights tonight.
We know when we reach Halloween, the games really matter a lot, and we have some great matchups, including the Eastern Carolina Conference title up for grabs in our Blitz premiere matchup. New Bern and its bludgeoning ground game travel to Hollywood to take on D.H. Conley and the high-scoring Vikings. And the Vikings lived up to their end of the bargain tonight as they were just running all over the place. Emmanuel McLawhorn having himself a game again, just shredding that New Bern defense as Conley would go up 28-0. And the homecoming queen, Miss Bagwell, originally from Ethiopia, now enjoying her time in Pitt County. Well, New Bern, the ground and pound wasn't working, so they went to the spread in the second half. D. Becton, he finds Tygier Hicks. That gets them down to the goal line where Becton keeps it. They added the two-point conversion, 28-8, but boy, it felt like New Bern had all the momentum. They got the ball back. They're driving again, but this time Becton is going to get picked off by Deuce Fuller. A huge play in the game because then Nate Connor, the interim coach, says, hey, Holton Ehlers, my All-American sophomore, why don't you just go up top looking for his guy, Noah Harper. For the second time in the game, the two hook up, and then back to that ground game. The deuce is loose again. Fuller scores, and all of a sudden the route was on. Even fake Nate Connor calling all the right plays in this one. Emmanuel McLawhorn, 4 touchdowns. None more impressive than this one as Conley rolls to the easy win over New Bern, 56-30.
What a huge win. You know, anytime you got the defending state champions coming to your place, it's an exciting night with a big ball game. I'm just so proud of our kids and how hard they played and prepared and came out and just executed. Great job. We've got more mature. We're not the same team we were week 1. You know, we're in week 10, going into week 10 now. We're a different football team, and we just got to keep progressing. Very, very proud of my guys.
Conley can wrap up their second title in 3 years when they take on South Central next week. New Bern hosts Rose next week.
And Rose visited winners of 3 straight, the Golden Falcons of CB Aycock on senior night for Aycock, and it was pretty much all Rose in this one. The Rampants go on the road and get a huge, here's Mr. Goodwin to Mr. Powell, yeah, duh, for the touchdown. Rose wins handily 70-42 on the road. One other Eastern Carolina Conference score to get you updated on Eastern Wayne over Southern Wayne, 35-16.
Okay, let's see what we've got next. We've got Washington taking on North Pitt, and the Pam Pack, coming off their first conference loss in 3 years, visited neighbor North Pitt, and the Pope, Clinton Pope, doing his thing, going all the way in for the touchdown. And then it would be Washington adding one more, and they get the shutout of North Pitt as Sway Poe scores. Edgar Allan Poe and the Pope all in one game for Washington. First place, Beddingfield hosted Farmville, and Beddingfield continues to lead the way. They shut out Farmville 40-0, and Southwest Edgecombe a shutout of North Johnston 49-0.
Over in the Coastal Conference, the Havelock Willie Nelsons, as we like to call them, they hit the road again, where the Rams have been scary good. Really scary good. Havelock, they've won 35 straight road games going into tonight's game against the Pirates of Swansboro. And that rushing attack, Tony Sharp still out, and Montrese Gatling picks up the slack there per usual with the touchdown run. Havelock wins 60-7. That's going to set up pretty well next week's matchup with Jacksonville for the conference title.
Well, Jacksonville trying to set up that winner-take-all showdown with Havelock next week. The Cardinals hosted a West Craven team with an 8-1 record. So we thought this would be a really close, tight game. The Eagles had other ideas. Jared Arthur in at quarterback to P.J. Thompson. That's good for the score. And then Justin Taylor. He's going to keep it. And just like that, West Craven routing the Cardinals. Taylor one more time. West Craven wins this one going away 36-7, handing Jacksonville their first conference loss. So Havelock clinches at least a tie for their 7th straight coastal title.
And Richlands and West Carteret got together tonight, each looking for its 2nd win on the field this season. West Carteret comes away with this one, defending home field 38-21.
Over in the 2A Eastern Carolina Conference, undefeated Kinston, right there, tried to avoid a letdown against rival North Lenoir. The Hawks, fresh off that wild win over Green Central, visited Wheat Swamp. And at the Swamp, got the players out, got the team running out, and hey, maybe a letdown for Kinston. Here comes North Lenoir. Zach Turner looking for Steven Swinson, and he's got it, and North Lenoir up 7-0. And they were doing, what were you doing earlier? The Monster
Thriller.
Mash?
Well, the Thriller dance. Yeah.
Here's your Thriller. Thomas Vermillion. He's going to find Jeremiah Fields. Jeremiah was a touchdown machine, and Coach Brown, then he would watch Vermillion. How about the slant coming right at you? Last week's hero, Anthony Berry Jr.'s got it for the easy 6. Kinston gets the easy win over North Lenoir, 55-28.
The Chargers of Aiden Grifton had a tough road test tonight at Goldsboro. And how many times has Aiden Grifton been in a lot of close games this year? They won some, they lost some, but this one wasn't close. They didn't have to hold their breath a lot for this one. Jordan Collins getting a tough run for Aiden Grifton, just slicing through. Oh, the ref looks like he tried to catch it, but he couldn't. That's going to get the touchdown. And then the defense stepping up for AG. Going to chase the man around for the SACK, the sack. Aiden Grifton, 40-8 over Goldsboro.
All right, Green Central tried to rebound from its first loss of the year. The Rams visited South Lenoir. The Blue Devils running out, trying to get that first win. They're running out of time, but Traquan Wade, the super quarterback for the Rams, just bowls his way all the way for the touchdown, and Green Central, no problems, 47-0 over South Lenoir. We're just getting started here on the Blitz. A bunch more highlights to show you, but first, our fans in the stands. Let's go back out to Hollywood, where the Conley Crazies all dressed up. They were going bananas, I would say. I still love Fake Connor and everybody else. Thanks for dressing up. The Blitz will be right back.
Thanks for watching The Blitz. I'm Matt Trent.
And I'm Brian North. It's no trick. East Duplin has treated itself to a special season. More puns to come. The Panthers on the verge of winning their first conference title since 2010, but they had to get by a 7-2 Croatan team that is having its best season in school history. Homecoming in Muleville, and the Cougars. Who else but Sam Ney? He rushed for over 300 yards in this game tonight. He did the whip, he did the stanky leg, he did the break your legs. You name it, Croatan was in front, and then East Duplin trying to get back in the game, but they fumble, and Ethan Bridges falling down, recovers for Croatan, and the Cougs beat East Duplin for the 2nd straight year, 35-10. So that muddles up the standings in the East Central Conference.
Northside at Jacksonville trying to recover from his first league loss in 5 years. North Brunswick and the Monarch defense stepping up early and often in this one. This is going to go up top, and then the bomb. But the pick is going to be by Jari Wilson. Let's take another look in slow-mo. It's even better. Ball's up, ball there. Jari Wilson there. That's going to do it for Northside, 14-10 over North Brunswick.
That creates a 3-way tie with Northside, East Duplin, and Croatan. Dixon and Southwest Onslow both looking for their first ECC win of the season, and also homecoming at Southwest. And the Bulldogs, they would pound in the go-ahead touchdown, and they get the win over Southwest, 14-7. Been a long time since Dixon has beaten the SWO.
Some fine folks in Beaufort are already printing up Coastal Plains Conference Championship t-shirts for East Carteret. Let's not jump the gun just yet, but despite the fact the Mariners still have 2 games to play. Now, East set sail for Yeatsville in Beaufort County to take on Northside, and, well, the Northside team was getting pumped up, but it was going to be short-lived because Macy O'Donnell takes the jet sweep, and like a jet, he is off. Watch this move right here. Whoop! Later into the end zone for the touchdown. This one was too easy for the Mariners. 58-6 over Northside.
All right, big rivalry game between Jones Sr. and Pamlico in Bayboro, and this one lived up to the hype between these two teams, who their history goes back a long ways. Tight ball game with Pamlico in front until Jones Sr. They are going to score thanks to Jaquan Jones, but back comes Pamlico and their super stud, Jacoby Simmons. He has the long gain, and then Pamlico County. It's been a long night. It's one of those nights. They get it down inside the goal line, and then they would score, and Pamlico holds on to get the win over Jones, 26-22.
Southside trying to rebound from its first loss of the year. The Seahawks hosted the Devil Pups of Lejeune. And Southside getting the kickoff return.
Wow.
Yeah, we're going to speed up. He was literally that fast, I promise. And that was number 5, Amari Peel, peeling back the ears. There he is again. Huh? Yeah, peeling back the ears for another long touchdown. This one wasn't even close. Southside blanks Lejeune 59-0.
Wallace, Rose Hill, and Clinton will play for the 4-county conference title next week. Wallace hosted rival Pender at Legion Stadium tonight. Don't blink, you might have missed it, as this was a one-sided whooping as them Bulldogs at the Dog Pound at Legion Stadium. They're going to pitch it out to their main man, who goes all the way in for the touchdown. Wallace Rose Hill is going to tack on one more, and they get the victory over Pender. 61-0. Johnny Glaspie and company ready for that showdown next week. Clinton took care of Trask to set up its side of the bargain, 56-13, while East Bladen barely over Union, and Midway takes care of West Bladen. 8-man football, Parrott Academy finishing up its regular season. It hosted Southampton, and the Patriots standing tall, and they didn't care that Southampton had an 8-1 record. They put it to them tonight. Connor Bright, the quarterback, looking for his man in the end zone. Riley Cregan's got it, and just like that, Parrott gets the easy win, 68-30. They'll host Rocky Mount Academy in the first round of the playoffs next Friday night.
In the Two Rivers Conference, first place Tarboro trying to wrap up at least a share of the league title. And Tarboro had that, let's see what we got on this
A rare pass by the Vikings.
Yeah.
You don't see that too much in Tarboro.
Well, a lot of running backs have come out of there, Todd Gurley-esque, and that's Todd Gurley-esque right there. That's Tay Randolph for the big gain, and then we're going to go with number 6 again, Deontay Williams, just dragging everybody. Williams having a great year, continuing tonight, sets up the field goal, and Tarboro gets the win over Northampton, 51-8. Riverside put its 6-3 record on the line tonight against 1-6 Rocky Mount Prep. Rocky Mount Prep has only had a football team for 4 years, and it pretty much showed because of plays like this. Jeremiah Wilson to Jackie Cooper for the touchdown. That makes it 28-0 Knights, and they were all smiles and dancing on the sideline. Even the hurt guys get into the action a little bit, and then Wilson goes right back with the aerial attack. This time it's Jadakiss Barry Bonds hitting the home run for the score. This one wasn't even close. Riverside blanks Rocky Mountain Prep 66-0.
5-3 North Edgecombe visited 6-2 South Creek. The Cougs try to stay in contention and bolster their playoff resume. And oh, that spooky moon on All Hallows Eve. That North Edgecombe trying to go to the air, and they would get the touchdown. But hello, South Creek. The Cougs coming right back, trying to stop them on the 2-point conversion, and they would do just that. Hello, we see you again. And then South Creek is going to get the win over North Edgecombe by the final of 32-14. Whoa, we still have our bonus game to get to, but first it's our Blitz hit of the night. Let's go back out to Beulahville, where Croatan making school history, and Skylar Smith doing his part with a big hit as Croatan now tied for first place. We'll be right back on the Blitz. Welcome to the Blitz Extra. I'm Brian North.
And I'm Matt Trent on a very spooky edition of the Blitz Extra, where a lot of conference conference championships are being up for grabs, and some are already kind of locked up this Friday.
We had a lot of important games that go a long way. Now, a lot of teams haven't wrapped them up, but they put themselves in the driver's seat. D.H. Conley being one with a huge win. Kinston sets itself up with a big one with Aiden Grifton. So the other thing we're starting to see is teams getting ready for the playoffs, trying to get playoff positioning and seeding. And that's where we have in the Carolina Conference 3-6 Hobson and 2-7 North Duplin. It's our bonus game. Those two teams battling for a possible playoff spot. And the Rebels would be in a good one when they got that neon sign atop their press box and they were shining bright on defense as they would force the turnover, strip it away, and dive on top. And just like that, North Duplin has the football, and the fans and the cheerleaders say this one's going to go to overtime, and that's where North Duplin, they would come up with the win over James Kenan. That field goal didn't help, but they would score the go-ahead touchdown, and they win at 14-7.
Battle for first place between Lakewood and Rosewood. Lakewood blanks Princeton, however, 28-0 in the Carolina Conference matchup there.
That's creating a log jam at the top of that conference. Now, James Kenan played Thursday night. They took on Spring Creek and Seven Springs. The Tigers finishing up their season because they have a bye week next week. And Kenan III doing his thing. Normally likes to throw it deep, but watch this little shuttle pass. Whoop. Right inside to Mr. Devontae for the touchdown. And then, how about my man with the fancy pants? Got the number of every player on his pants. We don't know why, but hey,
looks
he's
good.
Styling and profiling. So is Kenan III to Zach Melvin. The Zach Attack gets in almost untouched. And hey, we always show the AVAC boys. How about the AVAC girls enjoying the evening? Scott Edmondson for Spring Creek coming back. He finds Jamarian Dawson. But all those fans for Kenan, they would watch this kickoff. Spring Creek's supposed to get on it. They don't.
It's a kickoff.
It's a kickoff, man. Taquan Henry recovers that, set up Zach Melvin for the score. Kenan wins it 63-8 to finish the regular season. They have next Friday off. We talked to Ken Avent Jr. about that.
It's been good for us the past couple of years to get some guys healed up and kind of work on some fundamental type stuff, so we're kind of looking forward to the break.
You don't worry about getting rusty or anything like that?
No, I think we're going to try to do some things, keep things lively next week. We'll do a little scrimmage and, have a little fun, but biggest thing is to try to get healthy and get everybody ready for that playoff run.
So they have probably, almost 2 weeks off now with that 9-1 record to see who and where they will go in the playoffs. Same scenario as well for West Craven. They finished up their season tonight with a 35-7 win over Jacksonville. That clinches at least, at worst, second place for the Eagles, so now they can breathe and get rested up into a bye week. We talked to Matt Rigsby right after Jacksonville, that game against Jacksonville, to get his thoughts on the victory.
Jacksonville's a great team, both coming in the game 8-1. Really worried about their team speed. They've got a great coaching staff. We just played well and executed, and the ball bounced our way some. I'm just proud of our kids. I'm proud of our coaches, our community. It's just been a great year for West Craven football. Up next is a well-deserved bye week next week, where we can recover and rest a little bit, and then it's on to a home game in the playoffs.
We'll see who they'll play. Here are your matchups for the final night of the regular season. As West Craven watches, you have Rose and New Bern now looking like they're going to be battling for second place in the conference. Each has one loss. That's assuming Conley goes in and takes care of business at South Central. Havelock at Jacksonville. Havelock, the only undefeated team in the Coastal. Jacksonville coming off that loss. Havelock looking for its 7th straight Coastal title. Four-county conference. That's a slobber knocker between Wallace, Rose Hill, and Clinton. Kinston and Aiden Grifton's interesting. Kinston undefeated, but Aiden Grifton, the two-time defending conference champs. If you remember, in Littlefield 2 years ago, Aiden beat them 76-0 for that conference title. Tarboro will try and finish off its Two Rivers Conference title with its rivals at North Edgecombe. Plymouth taking care of business as always. They'll be home against Gates. Riverside at South Creek. South Creek's never beaten Riverside, so we'll see if they can finally end that. They lost by 1 earlier this year to the Knights. Southwest Onslow Northside's a traditional rivalry game, but Northside will be a heavy favorite. East Carteret will try to wrap up its Coastal Plains Conference title at Jones Senior, and Pamlico at Southside. That will be for the Fossil Bowl in Aurora. It's time for our play of the day. Let's go back out to Hollywood, where Emmanuel McLawhorn 4 more touchdowns, none more impressive than this one where he gets through the hole, bounces off a tackle, and then beats everybody to the end zone. Conley, an impressive statement win over the Bears. Just their second win over New Bern in 14 career games, but 2 in the last 3 years.
Unbelievable. One of those games next week that I'm really looking forward to. Now look, there are 3 certainties in life: death, taxes, and Havelock winning on the road. They go to Jacksonville. Jacksonville's 1-2 at home. They were 6-3. Now they're 7-2 due to Northside forfeiting one of their games. Up until tonight's game against West Craven, they'd won 5 straight. So that on paper looks like you said, like a given for Havelock, but it might be a little bit tougher than I think people are expecting.
You have to realize Jacksonville's quarterback Jakari Boone was playing with a bad ankle tonight. Triple option, the quarterback plays a lot into that. Give West Craven all the credit in the world, but certainly that didn't help Jacksonville. Will he get healthier next week, and will that make a difference? We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, and Darius Abrams for West Craven battling that concussion too, so best wishes to him and hope for a healthy return. Concussions are nothing to joke about nowadays.
Get rested up and take care of yourself, and we'll see everybody in the playoffs for West Craven. We'll see everybody else next week as we flip the calendar to November. Things are starting to get serious. Thanks for joining us on Week 11 of the Blitz. Week 12 is right around the corner.